I'm running up that hill, yeah. Well, running up that hill. Running up that hill.
Is that literally just all the lyrics?
Stranger
just
Things.
Run up that hill.
That's the only lines I know.
Run up that hill.
I'm too busy listening to the like all the other cool shit they're doing. I was playing Conor some score from Stranger Things from the end of the last episode, and he loved it.
I had no option. I was in the car. He was driving me.
I basically got some headphones and put them on his ears.
Couldn't jump out. To be fair, that score is really great. Literally today on Instagram, I was like watching some random Instagram reel, and a score was playing in the background. I was like, "This is fucking sick. I've heard this before."
Yeah.
And I checked, and it was the Stranger Things score.
Yeah.
It is really good.
It's a great score.
Who does it?
Score.
Not Maury Gold.
Probably the Duffer Brothers.
Bullshit.
No,
yeah, they're like a triple threat.
Yeah.
They probably edit it as well. The fucking wankers.
You know they're making a spin-off.
Yeah,
They just started Upside Down Pictures.
Yeah, I saw that, and they're doing the Death Note. Which they already did on Netflix a few years ago.
Was shit, apparently.
Yeah, people hated it.
But also, like, the Duffer Brothers are making like 3 other shows as well with this new company. It's like Death Note.
Isn't it a Hopper prequel or something?
I think they've just said an untitled Stranger Things prequel. But also, along with Netflix and Upside Down Pictures, they're developing a stage play set in the Stranger Things universe.
Ugh.
So we're really Harry Pottering the fuck out of this.
This is becoming Tyler Victorious. We have to like
keep up with everything.
You have to like have $1 million to get the full experience and fly to London and go to the exposition,
which is closed suddenly. By the way, Time Fracture closed just randomly and refunded everyone their tickets.
What did it ever open?
Yeah, it was open for ages.
I love how we were just like, we'll just watch some guy on YouTube.
Yeah,
go in and film.
This is a Time Fracture.
You get the experience.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's great. Connor's back out of COVID lockdown. We had to talk about last Christmas.
Ooh,
we're doing...
I lived.
Connor did live. Yeah, you feeling good? I know how you're feeling, but tell the audience.
I'm feeling better. I wouldn't say I'm good. It knocks your socks off.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It ain't no joke.
That's
all I got to say about that.
That's all you got to say? Well...
Pretty much.
What I got to say is I don't have the festive theme on my computer right now, but this is the Christmas in July special of the 50% Doctor Who podcast. Let's just pretend we're dancing to it. I edit it in post. But last time, I must apologise.
Yeah, it didn't play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It does on the video version, but on last week's pod, I was like, here's a teaser for next week, and I played the festive theme.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually put it in the audio for the Spotify version.
I listened on Spotify.
Is it awkward?
I was like... I was just like, oh, maybe he just forgot.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I was like, there's a logical explanation to why there's no music playing right now.
Yeah, I edited that podcast episode super quick. I had literally no time. I had a very busy week last week before.
Yeah, it went up pretty quickly,
on holiday.
actually. Yeah, Aidan went away. He went to caves. He went to...
I went to wineries. I went to a ginnery. What do you? Where they make gin? Is that a ginnery?
In barrels and shit.
No, but I just mean, like wineries and then breweries. Would a gin place be a ginnery?
Maybe. Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
A lot of bloody...
should have asked.
A lot of... Yeah. You should have gotten the full gin experience.
Mm-hmm.
Aidan was drinking beers on an empty stomach.
Yeah, I went on like a wine tour. It wasn't a full wine tour. I don't want to hype it up that much. It was just like a couple of wineries, wine tasting.
Yeah, that's what happened when we went.
I just... me and my girlfriend both forgot to eat before.
Yeah.
Just happens sometimes, you know?
Yeah, we went on... We booked a wine tour with the lads, and we thought it was going to be like a big old, yeah, let's get pissed. And it was literally just like us getting served like little bits of wine. And
that's what wine tours are.
And they're like, now can you smell the flavours? No, what? All right, so you're telling me people who go on wine tours go to test wine? People get smashed at wine tours. Like,
yeah, and that's how you do it.
I've been invited to a few, and I've never gone because I just don't want to.
I love them.
Why do people have them on a Sunday all the time?
Great.
You wake up, you feel... I felt so hungover today.
I've done, like, a few... If you go on, like, a party bus with people from here, it's not really like that. If you just go into the Swan Valley and you do it, it kind of is just like, yeah, you go and you just buy drinks and stuff. But if you go down south and you go on a bus and you, like, hire a bus to do it, then they give you little... Yeah, you just get little sips of different ones. But, like, I did it with my mates in February when we went down. And we got fucking smashed doing it because we were, like... We played this game... And basically, if we started sipping the wine, and they gave us very generous proportions of wine, I got to say. Mm-hmm. If we didn't like it, we'd pour it all into one cup, and then we'd play the finger game, and everyone would put their fingers on the cup,
Right.
And you'd like take your fingers off. There's like a game attached to it, and basically,
Yeah.
the way you lose is if you're the last finger on the cup after like a few rounds.
Yeah.
And if you lost, you'd then have to scull the entire overly full glass of everyone's wine.
Man, like real wine connoisseurs must like look at people who go on those tours like in shame because people just abuse the. I had one like a couple of weeks ago, and I just pulled an excuse out my ass because I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to go.
Fun.
It's a Sunday. You know how hungover I was at work today?
That's
I just
God's
can't
day.
do it anymore.
It's God's day.
Yeah, no drinks on Sunday.
No drinks on Sunday.
I just can't. I'm starting to think, like, with COVID and hangovers at work, I get to like 2 o'clock and I literally want to fucking die. It's so bad.
Rough.
I'm on a ladder and I felt like I was going to like fall off.
Yeah, well, that's not good. That's a
So
safety.
hungry.
That's a safety risk.
So hungry, nothing. Just
How good?
nonsense.
Well, it's good to be back in person after your
It
little
is.
COVID
I
week.
fucking hate recording through Zoom now.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to do that all the time.
I know. Sad days. And like it works. It works for a lot of people, but I don't know. I just always find myself so much more tired doing it online. Like I think because we're like way more cozy and we're just talking at a screen. I don't have the kinetic energy of chatting, seeing your face.
Exactly. It is just kind of like lazy, and you know, again, you're right. Some people have to do it, but I remember when like we used to just meet up like once a season, and we didn't even film it for a long time as well. So,
Yeah. Filming's only like a this year kind of thing, really, isn't it?
yeah. You lucky ducks.
You lucky ducks. Now you get to see our face, which probably is unlucky, to be honest. We are the 50% Doctor Who podcast. We talk about
Let's
Doctor
go.
Who 50% of the time. The other 50%, we talk about wineries. We talk about Stranger Things.
Stranger Things,
we talk
Star
about
Wars.
Star Wars,
A lot of
apparently.
Star Wars recently.
I know, considering neither of us really like Star Wars that much. There's been a lot of Star Wars.
Another my
talk.
rewatch.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm on A New Hope now. That movie accomplished so much.
Yeah, it's a great movie. That
So
one,
good.
The whole OT is just fantastic.
Rogue One. It's so
Rogue One's
crazy how you know, it was like the most expensive. Well, one of the most expensive like reshoots of a film ever. Like 200 million on reshoots.
Looks great. Looks fantastic.
They really did. They did Gareth Edwards fucking dirty though.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They just sent in some new guy to change up the script and reshoot pretty much the entire film. I literally I read on Wikipedia. Apparently, Christopher McQuarrie worked on the script for a bit.
Yeah. There's a lot. You can always
What?
tell.
So I was like, the hell?
When there's a big studio film coming out and there's like 6 screenwriter credits, you can always tell like this isn't going to be good.
They got passed around like some bloody.
Have you seen the Thor Love and Thunder reviews? They've just come out in the last few hours.
Yeah, I got my sources, Grace Randolph and Jeremy Johns, and
Yeah, as Jan's Play is out, I've not seen that
yeah.
yet. Yeah,
You can always tell when an embargo lifts because like on your feed, you'll
Yeah.
get, like it'll
I've
be,
just
like,
seen him on my
IGN,
feed.
Grace Randolph, Jeremy Johns all in like the same chunk.
I'll watch Jan's after this because he's like my favorite. I tend to agree with him. His
Yeah, I
reviews,
think
you
he's
know.
just like, I just think he's kind of like us. He just like likes
well
to have fun at the theater, I guess.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry. But like a lot of reviews not saying a lot of nice things. They're kind of saying a lot of what we've been saying, like the whole just gonna feel like a big SNL sketch kind of
Yeah.
vibe, you know?
Well, what do you expect, really? I guess like, you know, it's almost like these Marvel movies. They're gonna have like what westerns had, where westerns back in the day were like the superhero movies and like the spaghetti westerns. Like everyone was like, "There's no way it's ever gonna end." And I do think eventually they'll have to. Well, something's gonna have to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what their goal is now in this new phase. I really don't.
Make a lot of shit is the new goal.
Pretty
because
much.
they've got to understand, you know, you're making so much stuff that you're compromising on quality. Like that's easily just, you know, that's what's going to happen. And so I don't know whether they're at a phase now where they're like, okay, let's just make as much freaking money as we can.
But just also, it's not even people like Kevin Feige or the directors or like top writers who they get paid handsomely. It's also like the poor like people who have to spend like 7 days a week working like 10-hour
VFX.
days doing effects,
Trying to put a fucking cape on Doctor Strange.
literally.
Like,
and it's a second in the film, and you probably don't even care on those. Like, I've heard those like working conditions are horrible, and apparently the pay is just terrible.
yeah, I can imagine.
I've heard like overworking hours, no like extra pay, sometimes working like 7 days a week, having to like bring it into their homes during the pandemic. Like I said a few weeks ago, the whole like Spider-Man thing, it was being like they were doing effects like They even changed the movie when it was in theaters. Like they added, like in the scene where Andrew Garfield comes out, he accidentally hand goes through a shelf.
Really?
And they had to they're like, okay, we'll just send you this new copy, and then they'll play this one.
Wow, that's crazy.
They altered it. They made the scenes look better, like a week after the movie came out.
That's cheating.
Weird, hey.
That's cheating.
Weird.
I don't like that.
Marvel can suck me. I'm really sick of it.
Yeah, suck my nut, Marvel. Should we talk about Doctor Who a little bit?
Yeah, I'm really keen to talk about this
that.
episode.
Let's do that. We're the 50%
know
Doctor Who
what you think about
podcast, baby. We're going to talk about who?
50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50%.
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 50doctor. Have a chat about Doctor Who sometimes. Been a bit quiet there, but yeah, been away. And you can see our pretty faces on the 50% Doctor Who podcast YouTube channel.
Don't forget to click below
To subscribe to the official
Doctor
Who
50% Doctor Who
50%.
podcast.
That's the one. That's the
YouTube
one.
channel.
Ladies and gentlemen, today
I really want to know what you think about this episode.
I've accidentally
I'm very keen.
Sorry, I just
Very keen.
accidentally crossed off the page for the episode, so I need to quickly find Last Christmas I Gave You My Heart. It's an episode of the British science fiction show Doctor Who, and was first broadcast on the 25th of December 2014. It's the 10th Christmas special since the show's revival in 2005, written by Stephen Moffat, directed by Paul Wilmshurst. In the special Alien Time Traveler, the Doctor is reunited with his companion Clara Oswald as they must save a North Pole science fiction base from creatures called dream crabs that induce dream states whilst killing their victims with the help of Santa Claus, played by Nick Frost. Which, okay, regardless of the quality of the episode, the fact that they put Nick Frost's name after the title of the episode was a weird choice.
That was weird.
Very weird. And it was very quick.
Like, we got him, so we got to...
It just kind of felt like and Nick Frost.
Yeah, that was weird. And the titles were also like Christmassy themed, which was kind of cute.
Very cool. I like that a lot.
There was like snow on the TARDIS, and as it like twisted, like the snow flew off, and like when the Jenna Coleman and Peter Capaldi and Nick Foster, boof.
Yeah, and all like the clockwork stuff is all like frosty.
Yeah,
like
I know, it's like all frosty and stuff. And
very cool.
I like that. I think that's very fun.
So 2014's Christmas special. Peter Capaldi's first Christmas special.
Yes.
Broad strokes. What did you think, Connor? I want to know.
On rewatch or when I watched it first time?
Okay, let's go first time.
I can't remember.
Yeah, neither. I don't think I liked it a lot. But
I really hope you feel the same way as me. Otherwise, we're not gonna have fun today.
Sure.
I loved it. I really loved it.
It's a good one.
This is the first time that I've watched this episode and been like, I actually get it now. I really like it. When I watched it the first time, from memory, I just thought it was like pretty shit and didn't care.
Same.
I fucking loved it this time. I had so much fun with it. I really thought it was a smart, fun special, which it doesn't even cross my mind to rewatch at Christmas. It never did. Yeah.
It's like a horror Christmas special.
Yeah.
Which I rate. It's just so different to the ones we've had in the past. And, I think, to be honest, other than the next Doctor, every Christmas special that we've done in the rewatch so far, I would happily throw on. And this is...
the next Doctor, yeah.
This one continues that trend. Like, I think it's a really enjoyable watch. I think it's really funny. And I think the best Christmas specials are the ones that really make you feel something. Because, you get some, like the next Doctor, which I guess they did try and make you feel some things. But sometimes, I feel like they don't quite get that emotional core. I think that's what I remember my problem with Dr. Mysterio kind of being, is like there wasn't that emotion there, but there's like a nice moment from Pete at the end from memory. But
very good scene at the end.
Very keen to see what I think about that episode. When we
that's the next Christmas special?
No, Husbands of River Song.
Yes,
but then the episode after that is that. Yeah. And so this one, like continuing over the Doctor and Clara relationship, I kind of like that. It's almost like an epilogue to Series 8.
It is very much so. And like I said last week, from memory, I think they really continued on well, and I think it works so well, even like down to Danny's scenes. And Danny isn't in it as much as I remember.
Yeah, he's only in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's not in it as much as I remember, but I think his scenes really work well. That whole dream sequence stuff is awesome.
Looks so pretty.
The episode looks beautiful. Like literally from the opening shot of like a Christmas tree, and that like I remember they released it. I think it was for Children in Need. They released the first like 5 minutes of the episode, and like that scene on the rooftop.
Yeah,
with
I
the
love the
elves
set there.
and Santa and the sleigh and the rainings in the sky, and then eventually the Doctor lands and they're beefing with Santa. That just looks fucking stunning. It looks beautiful. It looks so nice.
There is a lot of dodgy green screen and CGI.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that kind of holds this episode back, but like that's...
Particularly like all the snow base and stuff, and you're like...
Yeah. For some reason, a lot of shots with Nick Frost is on the green screen.
Yeah.
And you really notice it. But like, yeah, that's fine. It's the nature of TV production in 2014, you know?
Yeah, Nick Frost is... it's so fun to have him in a Doctor Who episode.
He's hilarious.
He's so good. It's like
hilarious.
It's like the perfect casting for Santa as well.
He really is. He said some really funny stuff, man.
Dude, there is some good... And you know what? I kind of like... I remember the twist the first time around when they figure out they're actually asleep was really good. It got me. And like, but it's also really fun now. It's not even like watching it in the episode, you're like, oh, I already know the twist. I love every time I rewatch it now when the facehuggers first come down, you then know it's from there on out, it's a dream. And I think the good thing about this episode is like, you don't get to that scene, you see it happen and you go, oh, I know the twist. You're like, okay, this is really fun now. And as like, I think Moffat was really smart. So it's like, and then that's when he brings in Santa.
Yeah.
And you as a viewer when you're first watching it, you're like, this is just doesn't make sense. And it's like, it's because it doesn't make sense.
I know.
That it's really cool.
Perfect way of doing it. And I think another nice little touch. I think it's a really well directed episode. I'll say as well.
It does look really good.
Stunning. I think a nice little touch is every like close up of Clara. I'm pretty sure even before they get the facehuggers on their face, it's slightly soft. Like it has a slight dreamy feel to it.
Yeah.
You know, they do it a lot in the Danny sequence because that's obviously a dream. That part.
Oh, that scene is beautiful.
But then like every time they step out of a dream, it gets like less and less, but it's still there. So even when they first enter the base and before they get the facehuggers on their faces, there is still like a faint haze over her face. It's quite soft, which I think is a really nice touch. The facehuggers, awesome.
Yes. What are their actual names? The
Dream crabs.
Dream crabs.
I think. Yeah.
I think obviously, like, you know, the elephant in the room. It is, you know, obviously, and they even reference it. It is like a bit of a rip-off from Alien, but not that I even care.
No, not at all.
I think. By the way, I love how. Sorry, I never do. As my dad keeps calling me.
I was going to say your phone's been going off.
Aidan's filming,
doing podcasts.
He's like dinner. I'm like, Dad, please.
I'm not even here.
I think, you know, look at an episode like Time Heist, where I feel like, you know, it could have that blend of those orange colors. It became so. It just felt moody and it didn't work, and you got so tired of every scene. There's a lot of shots in this episode where like you are dealing with a lot of like dark rooms. But the way they use like the aqua color, the blues, the whites, and like the darkness and the black, I think it really worked well on screen and you didn't feel bored watching it. Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. And
smart app.
It was a smart app as well because like it loosely ties in the sort of theme of lying. You know, because you know you can't think about the truth. You know, you can't think about these dream crabs there, and they kind of they make some. I think Pete says a line or something about how you kind of got to lie to yourself or something to forget that they're there at the start, and the whole sort of Dr. Clara dynamic is them coming off the back of them lying to each other and developing their relationships again, and it is great seeing that relationship redevelop throughout the episode. And I think it's just one of those things that Moffat does really well is he doesn't just make a cool Doctor Who plotline where things go crazy bananas. He quite often ties the character journey into the theme of the story, and I think that's a real great touch from him. That is a regular occurrence.
That's when Doctor Who works best, is when like, and the best writers realize this is like characters, you know, character moments, character emotions, and I think as much as like the final was a bit lackluster, the whole Danny thing was like a huge thing that happened to Clara, and I think that opening, that scene when the Doctor's like, think about Danny is probably chatting to your neighbor or something.
Yeah.
And
She slaps him. Yeah, that's
him.
great.
And look, it does flatten my soda pop that she gets so angry when like she lied and he had no idea that he knew. But also
I think
like
it's understandable.
But then like that then makes him, and they admit, and like I know, by the way, I know this was the point but we were saying last week like they both did it to like almost save each other, and I think Moffat really kind of left that to the viewer to kind of decide why they lied to each other. But that just answers our question because like they both said like Clara's like, I didn't want you to be worrying about me. I wanted you to go back to Gallifrey and have a normal life. And the doctor's like, I didn't want you worrying about me. I wanted you to have a normal life with Danny.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's such a good way to also show the villain and like how you need to be paying attention to, otherwise they attack you. The point is like they get so distracted and they're like, hey mate, fuck this. What?
Yeah.
What did you just say?
That's
and
great.
then you see them start going back. It's so good that's how they show like, it's like, okay, you're not paying attention to them. They're going to go back.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Really good. It's like it's simple as the idea of like you can't think about something, but it just kind of it worked for me on so many levels that it just didn't before.
And I think another is it Shona?
Yeah,
Shona.
She's great.
Like everyone I remember back in the day was like she should have been a companion. I remember watching it and being like, yes, she should have been because she was great. I don't think she needed to be. Like rewatching it now with hindsight of knowing that she doesn't become a companion, she still works great. Like there's obviously way more they could have done with her, but I don't think she was like underutilized in the story. I think they did her character really well, and I think her intro is great. Like the classic Doctor Who Christmas song, my favorite Christmas song.
Yeah, my second favorite.
When you're hanging
Love
all
Slade.
the stars.
Haven't heard that since Christmas Invasion.
Down, 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 down,
Ting,
down, down,
ting,
ting.
every time we hear that song, I just hear the ting, ting from
Christmas Invasion isn't the last time that song was in. It's in all of Russell's, other than
Is it?
Other than Next Doctor, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, no, of course it's in Runaway Bride.
It's in Runaway Bride. It's in
Whoops.
It's in Voyage of the Damned at some point, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Is it? It's in Turn Left. Remember?
It is. Okay. All right, Aidan. Fuck.
Yeah, and
you're putting salt in my wound right now.
look, here's your wound.
Ah. Right.
Right, I'm drinking gin today.
There goes my point. Yeah, Ginny boy.
Do you like gin?
No, I hate gin. I remember I when I was first drinking, I had to steal alcohol from my parents because I couldn't buy any, and I stole my mum's gin, and I had like 3 shots of it with Mitch Pollard and Josh R. I won't say his last name.
Yep.
And I remember I got absolutely smashed, like it's completely sent. And I woke up with the awfulest hangover after like literally 3 shots of gin, and from there on out, I can't. Literally the smell. My mum likes gin and tonic. Even tonic water smells terrible to me.
Wow.
And tastes horrible.
I'm kind of like that with quite often just normal Smirnoff vodka. I can have like a cruiser, and every now and then if I'm drunk I can have a shot of it.
Oh
But
god, that's nasty.
just ever since I was in year 10, man, like the first time we ever went to like a big party, and dude,
Aidan literally vomited all over my bathroom floor, and then
Mitch was worse.
did he vomit first or did you vomit after?
I vomited into the toilet.
Okay.
Mitch then went, because I did a tack yak. Sorry, we'll get this over quick. I did a tack yak into the toilet.
Oh god.
And then was like, fuck, I feel so much better. And then your mate Mitch walked up to the toilet and he was like, hey, did the tack help you feel better? And I was like, yeah, man, it felt great. And he was like, cool. Shoved his fingers down his throat. It was like a classic in-betweeners thing.
But it went everywhere.
And he didn't get the toilet. He got all over it.
I was like, Jesus.
But, yeah, that was like my first time drinking. And I think I didn't drink for like a year or so after that anyways.
Yeah, it was a while.
And we were just so badly hungover the next day. And
My whole
from
room
that
just
moment,
smelled of vomit like for a solid day.
From that little adventure, I just can't smell vodka often.
I remember
properly
I think it didn't air, but on the show that me and Dan do, he did a shot of vodka and he vomited.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Yikes.
I can maybe keep it. I can keep down a shot, but man, is it hard.
No, I've done.
I'm a pussy with that kind of thing.
I used to be really bad with it, but just I don't know. With time, I think I've gotten better. Tequila's a popular one in my group, but we do the whole like
the salt, lemon,
and tequila.
To be fair, you were You did a beer snorkel before we filmed once, and that shit was gone in like 2 seconds. It was impressive.
I don't know whether I should be proud of myself or concerned.
I would. I think it was great.
I'll own it. I'll take it.
I needed to stick on the show when we finished Vanquish's review, and I downed
You did, yeah.
I downed my can really quickly, and I felt awful.
Felt rough. No.
Rough.
Speaking of times where you drink alcohol, the festive period at the end of the episode. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead a bit. We can backtrack a bit, but Clara is old.
You drink alcohol at Christmas, of course.
Of course, yeah. Good segue, right?
Clara
is old.
That's crazy.
Prosthetics, I thought it's like a little jarring at first, but I think it's quite good actually.
It's fine. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And you get the really nice like mirror image of in Time of the Doctor.
You bringing this up.
Yeah, I mentioned it in that review where Matt's really old and young Clara helps him undo the cracker. And in this, Pete is it doesn't quite work because Pete's old, but like Clara is significantly older than him in this scene, and so he helps her do the cracker, and that I think is lovely. I just wish that the episode had 5 more minutes just to sit on that scene of them, old Clara, her regrets, because it does feel rushed. I actually enjoyed the rushed nature of the last minute when they take her out of the dream, and it's sort of like this spontaneous thing where Clara's like, fuck it, yeah, let's run off together. I kind of like how that's kind of rushed. It's just the moment before of them old sitting together chatting. I would have liked a bit more time.
Well, wasn't it pretty much? Was it not confirmed if she was staying or leaving?
I don't think it was confirmed.
So that was really cool going in the episode because everyone was thinking like this Shauna girl. Everyone thought she was going to be the next companion because they didn't know that if Jenna was staying or not. By the way, really smart of the marketing team not to say anything. I think that's really good. It keeps you on the edge because you don't know, especially when you see old Clara. You really do think, okay, this is how they're going to wrap things up. But I'm glad it was a dream because when I was watching that scene, I was like, okay, this doesn't make sense because Clara technically dies and goes off in a fucking flying diner.
Yeah.
So I was like, this doesn't make sense. But then it's like, okay. When he woke up again, I was like, okay, please, can this not happen again?
Yeah.
I was like, how many fucking times are they going to be in a dream? Like, it happens like 4 or 5 times.
It does get a bit like that, but I enjoy it.
Not enough for me to care that much.
I think the more you rewatch it, the more it's like, it kind of works as a plot. I remember watching it as a kid and being like, oh, they've shocked us again, because you're getting shocked so much every time.
Aidan was like,
it's not as good as Arrow.
Yeah, not Stephen Amell. We love Stephen Amell.
But no, it was great. I liked the end of Shona when she opens up and she sees the letter and it's like Thrones Marathon, forgive Dave, ?
Yeah, who is Dave?
No one will ever know.
Yeah. I love how she sees the fucking crowd. She's like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Everyone else wakes up. Oh, by the way, they just... I was like... When I watched this episode today, I was like, doesn't this fucking guy die? And he just randomly... He's like the only person out of all of them who gets fucking killed. He gets sucked through the TV.
Yeah.
And I was like...
But he's like a pedophile, right? Like that was the...
A pedophile?
Well, they were not a pedophile. Well, like a pervert, sorry. A pervert.
It was intended as a comfort.
He was intended as a comfort. I'm sure.
I guess that's the thing though, where they that's the line he says, but I'm not endorsing putting hands on people that's not necessary. So yeah, was that the point where they were trying to say he was a bad person, I guess?
I think so.
Okay. A scene I really liked was when they got the books out, the manuals, and like this is a dream, what you're all gonna read a different letter that starts the paragraph. I thought that was great. And eventually when it started to spell out you are dying.
Yeah.
We
are dead.
It's like, and then it's very, very, very dead.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. And the fact they knew they had like the pain in the side of their heads.
The ice cream pain.
I love it. I really thought it was great. Why did I never think this was great when I was a kid? I really do think I went through that angsty teen stage.
Definitely. I liked the same thing when Kara's doing it on the duster.
That's awesome.
I love how the blackboard is such like a
the blackboard is
big
so
part of Pete's era.
Yeah,
like it's so iconic. It's so great.
I love that, and that whole Danny scene as well.
Wonderful.
Is really great, and that I love how like Pete's just at the door because he decided to then go into the have the face hugger on him, and they're like holding hands. So it goes into like Clara's dream, and he's like,
"It's your dad."
Yeah, it's the dad with the golf clubs. I love it. That scene is really good, and I think
nice.
there's just a lot of stuff like. And all of the Nick Frost Santa scenes with 2 hours, Dan Starkey plays a elf.
Yes.
He's not playing Strax.
Yeah. It was so funny.
He's
I was
just playing
watching
himself.
I was watching it and I was like, who is that guy? I so know who he is. And then at the end it was like Dan Starkey as Elf, and I was like, it's Strax.
It's Strax, yeah. But he's not wearing any prosthetics, obviously.
Oh, really? I thought it's funny that
Did you know?
I was about to say it's funny that he plays a Sontaran and an elf, and then I was like, it's because they're both short.
Yeah,
Like,
and he's just with pieces of just a wacky looking guy. And
He's got
I
an
love
interesting complexion.
Yeah,
right?
I think Dan Starkey does a lot of he does like the voiceover commentaries on a lot of the behind the scenes stuff as well. So
I think he does. I think he does a lot of voice work in general.
and then he came back for Flux.
Yeah, Flux, Sontaran Man in Flux.
We love continuity with the Sontarans.
That's right.
The potato heads.
Potato Boys.
Yeah, I just, by the way, I just think it's so nice to watch a Christmas special that I just really enjoyed. And I think that this episode was just really good. I thought Pete and Jenna was so good. It gives me hype for season 9.
Yeah, definitely. I'm aware that I'm pretty sure this episode was part of the Series 8 production block. I don't think it was Series 9, because Series 8 started in August, didn't it? 2014.
Yes.
And finished in like November, I think.
I remember those season 9 trailers being so fucking cool.
The Series 9 ones. What were the trailers for Series 9?
They did those, they did the Comic-Con trailer, and it was just
the
so
music was
fucking
cool,
great.
wasn't it? Like,
the music was awesome.
it was like kind of synthy, like Stranger
it was
Things
so
synthy.
cool. And they did they had the trailer in Letterboxd.
Yeah,
so it's so
and everyone was
cinematic.
like, "Are they going to make it cinematic?"
Oh man,
Like,
I
that was
think
crazy.
I think season 9 is. I'm not sound like a broken record, but I do run a show,
Yep.
and I do sound like a broken record, by the way.
Yep.
For the record, I do think that I'm gonna really love season 9 because I just kind of fuck with the idea of it being like kind of like all 2-parters, and
Yeah,
I haven't
hope.
sense in it for Christ, and I love Face the Raven as well.
I think I'll enjoy it.
Not
I
sure
really
why
love
that shit gets hate these days, but
Pete and Cara. I know Cara gets a lot of shit as a companion, but I really enjoy her and Pete. I think they're great.
yeah,
I know Series 9 is where she gets a bit much.
Clara who.
Cara who? Yeah, but let's see. Here is that wonderful... hold
This
on.
is a Grammarly advert.
This is an advert for Grammarly on YouTube.
This is
Follow
our
YouTube.
sponsor for today's video. Use code
Grammarly.
DOCTOR at the checkout
Not
to get
actually,
10%
not
off
actually.
at
Grammarly,
Grammarly.com.
don't at us. Here we go. Here is the wonderful trailer music that Conor was talking about.
Oh, I used to listen to this all. Oh my god!
Sit back and enjoy this wonderful piece of score, which is significantly quite moody.
I wonder how the BBC got the rights to just play this.
Yeah, I wonder as well.
I think it literally is just some like stock.
This, okay.
This no, it's in the middle. That's it. You gotta go.
It's in the middle?
Yeah,
Is
go
it in
to
the middle?
Yeah, go to
Okay.
the middle. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. We're coming up to it, folks. Let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
come on. Oh yeah, this is it,
Yeah.
isn't it? Right?
When it hits the middle,
I can't wait. I'm keen. Give it
where's
to
that
us,
bass
please.
drop?
not that bass drop.
Where the hell is this
What
drop?
is this like Arabic music kind of thing? Here we go.
Here it is. This bit.
There we go.
This bit they played in the trailer. And there's a shot that I open in.
Yeah.
So
and then
good.
it's like the shot of Scaro.
Oh my
Stunning.
god.
Here we go, baby. Let's go. Turn it up. Okay, I'm gonna click this one with no
Oh.
female voice, as it says.
Man, this trailer is fucking
Here we go.
slaps.
After all that, I'm skipping. We're gonna restart it again to this.
Every time I think it's more extraordinary, it surprises me.
Here we go,
It's
baby.
impossible, it's evil, I hate it, it's astonishing. I want to kiss it to death.
Stunning. We love it. Beautiful landscape shots.
This is the one you should just click
Pete.
first.
I know, I should have just clicked this, right? I don't know why I
This
didn't.
is the one.
It's literally
That's what you
titled.
say no female vocal.
Yeah, it does.
They're like, you should come here first.
Let's go. It's great. It's great sim stuff. Stranger Things stuff.
You want to know where they got the inspiration from?
This.
This. Imagine an RTV trailer like this for Centenary.
Epic.
Centenary, sorry, 60th.
Great.
David getting his Sonic out. Alonzi! Dun 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 dun! Matt comes up the TARDIS.
Oh, yeah, there. Peter.
This
The
is
reunion
impossible.
You never saw coming. Bro, his teleports in.
This is where the fun begins.
Hello there.
You just can't not get hyped listening to it.
Dude, they really need to get us to write this shit, right?
Yeah, where's our episode? Hello there. Hello there.
I saw that apparently, well, we got it's been confirmed
Yeah.
that they are currently filming a separate episode now of Russell's era. So whether, it could, in theory, be the start of Series 14, but we know that Shooty I think he's shooting on the Barbie movie, but I feel like he might be wrapped on that. And we know Sex Ed Season 4 is the next thing he's doing.
I've heard that he's shooting, Season 4 of Sex Ed first, and then directly
who?
after that, he is going to be going to do Doctor Who.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
so I don't think it'll be Season 14. So I think the theory of multiple specials...
Did they mean to post that clapper? Was it a mistake?
Yeah, so the director posted it. So it was the director that was saying, so good to be joining Doctor Who, and it was a slate, and, it said, director... This person. Sorry, I don't remember her name at the moment.
So they wrapped the first episode?
Yeah, but that episode that we saw, I think was episode 1, and now they're doing episode 3 or special 3, I think. So we don't know who's directing special 2. We also don't know who's in this new special that they've started shooting because there's not been any location shoots or anything like that yet.
Yeah,
so.
I've seen them they're shooting apparently like an old British house,
Yeah,
like a
that's
Downton
coming up.
Abbey
Yeah.
kind of place.
And the other thing we know is that Matt Smith has grown his hair back into 11th Doctor look. Not that it's ever been too far from that, but, I've seen a few people talking online, and a lot of the time it can be a lot of bullshit over the last, few months. People saying, oh, he's got this hair, he's got this hair. But, look,
He's back.
It really does look very, very Doctor-y
But
right
what,
now.
though? Surely the theory, though, was that he'd be in episode 2, and then Peter would be free.
Yeah, well, who knows?
Or maybe for free, they're just doing all of them.
I just hope that they all come together. I like the idea of separate storylines. I think we've said this broken record on. We're going to sound like a broken record. I think we've said we'd love Dave to do one, Matt to do one, then Pete to do one.
Yes.
And then whether it's a 4th special where they all come together along with other doctors, or the end of Pete's special, they all come together or something like that. That would be awesome. But we know Pete's hesitant to come back, so whether or not that's just part of his little bullshit into the media and he is going to come back, who knows?
I think it'd be interesting as if they even bring something like the Fugitive Doctor in. That would be something that would be Russell really actually acknowledging something that Chibnall did. I would too. I don't think it's impossible.
No, I think it'll happen. I
hope so.
I think we'll definitely start to get some Chibnall references in Russell's era. I don't think he's going to ignore it completely.
I saw Russell went on the One Show this week, and he was like, I've watched the Centenary
2 days ago.
And he still confirmed it was 90 minutes.
Yeah.
I think he's the one who accidentally leaked it was 90 minutes.
He did. He said it.
That's a big fucking special.
Yeah.
I'm keen as.
Which I'm glad because there's so much to do in it.
Yeah, you're bloody right there is.
Yeah.
Jesus, there is so much to do in it.
Yeah.
That's movie length. We're getting a Doctor Who movie pretty much.
That's great, man.
It's cool as.
So exciting.
I'm excited. You know what? It's actually not that far away. It's less than 3 months.
It's been good because I think we finished Legend and we were fuck. We were obviously salty because we weren't huge on the episode, which remind me to come back to that point because I have a thought of Legends that I want to talk about.
He rewatched it, folks.
No, I didn't.
He's not as dumb as me.
But after we finished Legends, we were like, oh, it's going to be so long till the Centenary. It's going to be miserable. What are we going to talk about on the show? But then all this 60th stuff has just built up our hype, and it's allowed us to stay invested in Who because, there's been times early on when we were doing this show, where there was just no news during COVID and stuff like that. And when they were filming Flux, there wasn't a lot of things coming out.
It was so dry.
It was so dry, man, that the only thing Keemia was talking about Who and thinking about Who was us reviewing an episode each week.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's been so great to talk about other stuff, and it's made the Centenary even more exciting because we kind of forgotten about it a bit, and now we're coming up close to it again, and it's going to be oh, we have that. That's right around the corner. That's exciting,
I heard today, again, you can't... I feel like this goes without saying. I feel like I've got a broken record times 3 today.
Broken Conor, mate.
But you can't believe everything you hear on the internet. But I heard that the BBC reached out to Chris Chibnall and was like, we want you to go to Comic-Con this year. And he said no.
I want to call bullshit on that.
Thoughts, feelings, go.
Purely because the source I saw from that is a very unreliable Facebook page. And
this Facebook page is so interesting. But
what's that page called?
I can't remember actually.
Okay, well,
But I think it's something like Doctor Who news or something.
yeah, just be very cautious who you see these ones from, because
Yeah.
and I'm saying this not to you because I know you know, but
Yeah.
like just to listeners and viewers, always just make sure that there's a source where this stuff's coming from, because that same Facebook page I saw posted
Oh, they
like
post
2
all
days
sorts.
ago. They said an anonymous source said that they've seen the centenary and it's a piece of shit. Like, it's horrific. It's the worst thing ever. And it's like, maybe it is, but your source, like, you don't have a source. Like
I don't need some fake person telling me that. I already know it's going to be shit.
Conor,
I'm sorry.
we were talking
I'm
hype
sorry.
for it then.
I am so keen for the
Yeah.
Centenary. I actually, to see how they wrap it up would be so interesting, and I actually am keen for it. I want to hear your thoughts on, I saw another load of bogus, which was that they're gonna do a New Year's special for Catherine and David.
I want to say more likely than a Christmas special, because Russell has been very particular in
As
saying
in this year?
yes. Because
Now
Russell's-
you're saying
no,
you want
no,
the
let me
Christmas special?
finish.
Sorry.
I'm saying I don't think it's gonna be a Christmas special.
Yeah.
One, because timing, and just like
Mm-hmm.
that's very quick from Jodie's last to that. But and I know 1 week moving to New Year isn't any different.
Yeah.
But the other thing is Russell's been very particular in all of his wordings of everything. Like, whether it's him saying David and Catherine are back to film some scenes, and he's never saying exactly what it is that they're doing. But there is also the fact that he keeps saying in 2023 we'll be everywhere. We'll be everywhere. I don't think we're going to get anything in 2022. But I could possibly see in 2023, maybe we'll get a special on the 1st. But also I'm like, there's, I think that's, like, it could also just so easily be bullshit.
It could be. In fact, I'm pretty convinced it would be. But like, also that's such a thing that it's almost exactly what Chibnall would do, because he's done that the last 3 years.
Yeah.
That
So
was
it
kind of
depends.
his thing.
Because we were sort of saying, maybe, damn, actually, this is getting in my head a little bit. Mm-hmm. Because, we've not had Christmas specials in years.
Yeah.
But,
Oh,
there was
okay.
that whole debate for like when Moffat was leaving. Moffat was like, I don't want to lose the Christmas slot. And then Chip was like, no, we'll do a New Year. And like, not great, but it's fine. And forgive him. But we've still had that regular festive special, right?
Yeah.
Even though 1 year it was just a normal episode with the Series 12 premiere, we still always had an episode come out in the festive period. Mm-hmm. Every year since 2005. So, do you think maybe Russell's like, I'm not going to break that? And he's like, I don't quite want to do one for Christmas, but maybe we can do the first special on New Year's Day?
Well, they have filmed very early, and that's possible. But I don't know that, it'd be interesting for, like, the first of the year to be like, this is the year it turns 60. It's the first day of the year that it turns 60.
Yeah.
Look, I'd love it to happen. Mm-hmm. I think
Content.
we deserve it, okay? We deserve it.
All right.
But, imagine thinking, like, a year after you watched Eve of the Daleks, you get I can't stop saying
Tennant,
Centenary
Russell T.
special.
Davies special.
Yeah, you get a special.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
I think they already have enough. I think they've generated enough hype to keep an audience going until whenever they want to do it next year.
Totally.
They're not going to lose the audience. If anything, it's just going to get more and more
Oh,
hyped.
dude, it's going to game
So-
like crazy. Neil Patrick Harris, and we've listed all this stuff.
Crazy.
Broken Record number 4
Yeah,
reference.
4. I was about to say it again then.
This is like a clip show episode. We might as well just get clips
Yeah,
of everything
the
we've
clip
said in
show.
past episodes. But all the different characters and actors that are coming back and entering the show for the first time, I think it is just going to generate so much hype for the show.
I keep saying to my parents, like, I'm telling you right now, like, I really do think, like, this new season of Doctor Who will be, I pray, by the way, but I really do think it can be looked at as, like, have you seen, like, the new season of Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Like, I know there's
talking
lots of
about it.
seasons before, but, like, you can just hop on at this point, and it's, like, really good. I think we could get to a point where, like, it's viewed as a show that's, like, maybe even, like, HBO status.
Yeah, we'd love that.
I genuinely do think with someone at the helm like Russell, and I hear they're even using that, like, Star Wars technology, with the whole the green screen that goes around the
I haven't seen
sets.
anything like that.
I heard they're using that stuff.
Interesting.
That'd
That'd be
that
cool. I've not read that
technology.
anywhere, but
pretty
perhaps.
fucking cool if they do that. Like,
Yeah.
that is just great. And
cool.
I think the spin-offs, I think that is such a great thing to do. And I'm even more excited. Imagine being so hyped for Shooty series, but also being hyped for the Ace Adventures,
Well, what I'm most keen for...
Cybermen,
Cybermen,
Genesis,
the Cyber Boys.
the Cyber Boys.
What I'm keen for and hopeful, and I feel like maybe it's been like this for a reason, is we've obviously had, Donna's daughter, well, possibly, I guess that's a mild spoiler from set pics and stuff,
Yeah.
but Yasmin Finney playing
Rosie.
Rose, being Donna and Sean's daughter. I feel like there's a big potential that she's there for that first special,
The
and then
Rose
she's going to be
Adventures.
Shooty's first companion.
That makes sense.
Like she's in the first special, so not in the next few because they were different doctors or whatever. And then maybe they all sort of come together at the end, and she sticks around when.
Oh man, could you imagine her like going back and like Donna playing like a Sylvia type character?
That
would be
like 2 or 3
nuts.
episodes a season for a few scenes.
I think that Russell gets it. I do, and I think he understands the climate of
Knows what
TV
he
that we're in
wants.
right now, where like the climate TV we're in right now is like everything is so big and huge, and
Yeah.
he understands character, he understands the industry.
And he
It's just
seems
great.
to understand a balance of, bringing in new stuff and old stuff. And not that Moffat and Chib have both brought in a lot of new and old stuff in their eras, right? I think the difference perhaps is, I think Chib's new stuff hasn't necessarily been as successful as what Russell and Moff's new stuff has been. And I think that's kind of the difference where, Russell through his tenure and Moffat through his tenure, they introduced so much new stuff, but also bring back old stuff. And I think that balance is what makes Doctor Who so good. That being said, Fugitive Doctor is a great addition from Chibnall. So
Yeah,
I just mean a lot more of his, his companions and stuff. I'm not begging to see return.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you couldn't get a more respectful person than Russell to be taking over the show. He literally on the one show was like, all he can talk about is
What a man.
the centenary, and he always mentions like Jodie, like he has respect for them. He's a good sport, I think that he is just respecting the fact that we have this special. Once Jodie regenerates into Aidan, it's going to happen.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I feel like that
I
might
hope
be
so.
what happens, but my worry is the centenary is going to finish, and it's not
Gonna be what people think.
it's going to be like open-ended regeneration because at the time they didn't know.
Yeah.
But also they've had time now that they can maybe go back
Yeah.
and film stuff.
The TARDIS set was still up. Broken
Broken record number 5.
Yeah. I hate how many times I said that.
But
I hate it.
I reckon there's a chance, and especially because the fact that Russell's only just seen it 2 days ago makes me think, because they said a long time ago, Matt Stevens says the centenary's locked off, it's done.
Yeah.
So it makes me think that maybe now that Russell's taken over and they've started doing the Russell stuff and they've started shooting the Russell stuff, they've now been able to be like, okay, we've got David now. Now we can film a scene to go at the end of the centenary. Which, yeah.
It's entirely possible.
It depends because it's like, if the set's not still up or the set that they were using for the regeneration isn't available, I don't know how they're going to pull that off.
Well, even before David was casted to come back, there were rumours going around that Jodie's regeneration would be outside the TARDIS.
Yeah.
So BBC probably, if they were smart, were probably like, we don't know what you want to do yet. We can do this outside the TARDIS, which means we can demolish the set. Or in my eyes, keep it up for a while.
If you've listened to every episode of the podcast ever, you'll understand why Connor's being so sus right now.
But
they kept the set up longer than they should have. That's all I'm saying.
And the other one's like, shut the fuck up. Do you remember when Resolutions just sat in a vault at the BBC for like a year?
Revolution?
Yeah, it just sat in a vault at the BBC for like a year.
Dude, it paid off. We went through COVID.
Did it pay off?
Yeah, because they filmed that before COVID. And then COVID happened that year.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, we actually had a special at the end of the year.
I think they just finished just before things went to shit.
Yeah, well, they shot it in January, the year before it came out.
Those awful January 6s.
Yes.
Do you know, apparently Russell knew he was coming back from 2020? You heard all this shit?
I don't...
Is that even true?
That was said, I think it was said in Doctor Who magazine. I think he said David's return. I've not read Doctor Who magazine because it's not widely available in Australia.
Surely
that's just a little app. No, you can't get it sent over or anything. I did see one in a magazine store, but it was an issue from like 6 months ago, and I was like, that's
the problem.
I'm not going to do that.
I know when like back when like my mum would still buy like UK magazines, like it would be like from like 2 months ago.
Yeah, like
by the time they got to
I love to read all these Russell interviews and stuff that come out and things, but it's like most of it eventually makes its way online. And not that I want that to be like, I'd love to pay the guys that are going out and doing this journalism and stuff and making a beautiful looking magazine. But it's like when it just isn't, when it takes months and months to come out, there's no enthusiasm for that. Like when I think they did an issue that was like the 40 years of the Fifth Doctor, right? Like at the start of this year, and the cover looked beautiful and all the interviews looked great. And I was like, fuck, I'd love to read that. But then like I saw that like 4 months later and I was like, I'm just not on that Fifth Doctor hype anymore.
I used to get, didn't your nan used to do the same? My nan used to send me like the Doctor Who magazines.
Doctor Who Adventure.
Yeah, Doctor Who Adventures. Yeah. I used to get sent those in the mail.
Yeah.
That was so great.
Mm-hmm. That was good stuff,
put like heaps of sweets in there as well.
Yeah, I used to get all the toys. She'd send over a batch of toys with the latest issues of Doctor Who Adventures.
Yeah, our nans.
God bless them.
Before we move on real quick, what do you think of Stranger Things Vol 2? Because you said in the car, you were telling me on the show, and I'm actually really keen to hear what you have to say. Not that I've watched it, by the way.
I'll keep it quick, but I think it crumbled under the weight of the hype of a month off for a season that wasn't meant to have a break.
Okay,
because it was like a last minute thing. Netflix were like, no, we want to get it out. I think they got a little bit greedy. They wanted to verse Kenobi, put them out on the same day.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because that's what happened, And I think it crumbled a bit. I think it would have been much better without the month hype of who's going to die, what's going to happen. And there's an episode, I'm not going to spoil anything, by the way, here. Mm-hmm. But the second last episode basically should have just been called Who's Going to Die? And like it's all like developing a group of characters who are going into the firing line, basically. And
it's like, who's going to...
It's like which one of these characters isn't going to make it is sort of like what they tease. And the whole episode is just kind of like that. But that being said, I think it's enjoyable. I think it will bode well on rewatch. Mm-hmm. I think elements that I was cautious of watching Volume 1, i.e. the elements involving Russia, don't come together. And I was saying that through Volume 1. I was like, if this stuff doesn't come together in Volume 2, I think it's going to be a bit messy. And it doesn't.
I heard that, yeah.
And there's a lot of bits that don't come together. But the bits that have been the best of the show, the Hawkins group, throughout all of this season, have always been the standout because you got the Russian group, the California group, and the Hawkins group, and the Hawkins group have just always stolen each episode. They've been incredible, and that continues in through the rest of the season. I think they're really good and really enjoyable to watch, and there is some very, very incredible performances. There's a scene of a character crying, and I felt it big time. I think that actor is one of the younger actors, and I think they are going to go on to a incredible career. I mean, they're already having an incredible career. They're on Stranger Things, but I think they have an incredible career ahead of them. That's my Stranger Things 2 review.
I'm old and bogus and heartless, and I'm such a snob when it comes to TV.
Yep.
And movies. Mm-hmm. And music.
And everything.
Everything. I'm just a snob. The guy I work with was like, oh, you've been watching Stranger Things? And I was like, when people like tell me to watch something so much, it turns me off watching it. Mm. So I do think that I will watch it eventually. But man, I am so deep in Bob's Burgers right now. You have no idea.
I can't do that.
I know how much Aidan was going to fucking love me saying that, which is why I said it.
And I don't have any hatred towards those shows. It's just them long-running American cartoon sitcoms and sitcoms in general just aren't really my thing.
I agree when I'm in like season 7 right now, and
gee whiz.
I am very like critical even of a show like that. I'm like, you need to give me episodes that make me feel like you should still be on air. And by the way, I'm on season 7 right now. Season, I think, either 12 or 13 starts airing in September.
Wow. It's
a classic Fox. Like, Simpsons is Fox. Simpsons is fucking 34 seasons. Should have ended years ago. But I watched a couple of the new Simpsons episodes, like, a couple of months ago. And there really were some episodes where I'm like, okay, I appreciate the fact you're still on air if you're going to do episodes like that. But believe me, there are some episodes where you're just like, this shit just shouldn't be on air.
Sure. Yeah.
And so far with Bob's Burgers, there have been episodes where I'm like, this is good quality stuff. Like the highest rated episode of the show was last season. Like,
wow, okay, that's cool.
They had like, well, I know with like Simpsons, during like season 6 and 7 is classified as the golden years of the show, where like every week an episode would come out and it was just like a banger.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting to see like another Fox property, which nearly got cancelled during the first season, which I completely understand. The first season isn't great. I just think that it like, even like the fact like Bob is like bisexual. Like I think it's interesting. Okay. Like I think it's just great they have even representation in like a character who's in a Fox property that has a very healthy heterosexual relationship with kids and and has a wife and but has said on the show openly that he is bisexual, and I think that is such great representation. One of the children has it's pretty much confirmed that his sexuality is quite open. Yeah, okay. And I think that's really great. And yeah. Anyway, I will watch Stranger Things.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's worth doing.
That's my long-winded answer to that.
I think it would have been nicer if it ended as big. So with me hyping it up and with a lot of people hyping it up, it would have been more beneficial. For you, for me to be able to be like, it ends incredibly. And yeah, it doesn't quite end as spectacular as I think it started, but I think it's great. It's definitely, running out of steam a little bit. I'm glad they're wrapping up with season 5, but it definitely, the very end of the season is like, all the pieces are falling in together, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, there's one more season, isn't there?
Yeah.
And I've heard it's not that they're going to be as long because it was all shot through COVID, wasn't it?
Well, they've not filmed the new season.
I know that. I mean, the season that just came out, that was all shot through COVID. That's why it took so long.
It took so long, and it's twice the length of any other season. Every episode's an hour and a half,
Wow, they really gave themselves a lot of fucking work for a COVID show.
They did. I think... And I think they know, because I think a lot of it could have been cut down. I think the early episodes really benefited from being long, and I didn't feel the long run time. But around episodes 6 and 7 onwards, I think it starts to be like, okay, you want to be ramping up the pace. But yeah, I think last thing I'll say on Stranger Things, the Duffer Brothers have said they want season 5 to be a lot shorter.
Yeah,
for
I've heard
about
it's
10
shorter.
hours, which is good.
Yeah,
and they're going back to it all being set in Hawkins with a lot of the original dynamics. So that makes me think they've kind of learned. They've done a lot of things that they've thrown at the wall, like sending people off to California, tried a few different dynamics. And then for the last season, they're like, okay, now let's do what everyone really wants and sort of bring it back. Bring the kids maybe together as a bit of a focus.
What Aidan's trying to say, folks, is that he loves Kate Bush.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
What if I said I was a Kate Bush fan before Stranger Things?
Then you'd be a fucking
Then I'd be a liar. The thing is, though, I didn't know that song before.
Right. So did everyone.
Oh, I'm not saying me specifically.
You know what kills me about that song? Is this is so dumb. This is like the classic, I was there first, like you were just doing.
Yeah, that's exactly the
when it first gets introduced in episode 1 of the new season, I was like, damn, that's a banger. That's a banger. And I was listening to it, and I was walking around the house listening to it, and Mum was like, that's a great song. I remember that song. That's great. And I was like, yeah, it's so good. And then all of a sudden, it's like a massive plot point, and it goes through every episode. That's it. The one thing that I wanted to say about a
little episode called Last Christmas,
Legend of the Sea Devils. Before we wrap up Last Christmas, very briefly,
I
just want to say that Who Corner to Corner, another podcast. Not that you should ever stop listening to us, but
if you ever get sick of us,
they have a fantastic podcast.
Who's it called? Sorry,
Who Corner to Corner, and they recently had Ella Road, the co-writer of Legend of the Sea Devils, on. I had a chat, and she just seems like a really lovely person, and I hate when that happens, because when it's an episode that you don't necessarily like, particularly like the writing, and you're like, you kind of want to point fingers, but then you're like, oh, she just seems so lovely. It really conflicted me. I was like, oh, maybe we do take this shit a little bit too seriously sometimes. Like,
did they get her on to review Legend of the Sea Devils?
Not to review it, but just as an interview, and they talked about making Legends of the Sea Devils and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it killed me a little, because I was like, yeah, maybe, like, I don't think we're too harsh on it, because I don't think it's great, but I feel like maybe we get a little bit too aggressively passionate about that, because at the end of the day, it's just people making and doing what they think is right.
Yes.
And I had this argument with someone the other day, and they said yes, but they're being paid to do it. And I was like, valid, yep. Valid argument, valid counter argument.
What if, sorry, not what if, when we get paid to do this, do you think you'll take your job more seriously here?
I mean, if I'm getting paid the money that they're being paid, and okay. The thing is, I don't know. I've kind of lost myself a bit.
Depends how much our guys donate to Patreon.
What's your angle? What's your angle on that question?
I don't know. I literally just like, would you, if this was like theoretically your full-time job, like would you present different? Would you be
I don't
more?
think I'd present differently. I think I definitely put a bit more time into editing because that's something I do a lot quicker these days, and hence why there was a big error last week where I missed a piece of music. And
that's the first time ever, though, to be fair.
Actually, I think from my recollection,
I think you did a good job.
It's the first time I missed it. But I think I'd run the show relatively similar, but I think, I don't know, when it is your job, you're expected to, all the gear to work, right? Like when you hire someone to do something, whether it's to dig a big mine or something, you expect it to be done really well. And so it is like, when you hire someone to write the script, you expect it to be done really well.
Yeah.
Because I was arguing with some people about Game of Thrones who were just like having a suck about the ending, which I don't think is great. But I was like, just remember these guys gave you 6 seasons of it that you really enjoyed. And that they are just humans doing what they thought was right. And they were like, yeah, but when you're getting paid as much as they got fucking paid, it needs to be good. And I was like, that's valid. That's a fair reason. But maybe we all get a little bit too passionate about movies and TV shows from time to time is what I'm...
Oh man, you're so right. Like I literally just told you that I'm watching every Bosbergs episode. Like you need to have a reason to be on TV right now. It's a cartoon. Like come on. Like I get it, and I have that with like we're watching a children's science fiction TV show. I'm like, you need to move me.
Yeah,
I need character moments. I need to feel something again. You know, like Jesus, man. Like give maybe give them a little bit of a break. Plus, I guess we've also never been on the a good thing to remember as well. It's like we've never really been necessarily on the receiving end, I guess.
And I think as well,
it'd be like someone hitting you up and being like, "I watched your film, like I thought it was rushed," and it would hurt. You'd be like, "I tried my best." Like, what the hell, man?
No, I did what I thought was right.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Mark Kermode puts it best, and maybe as creators, this is maybe a little bit doesn't apply as much. But Mark says, I review films and I say I say all this harsh stuff, but I say it knowing that I'm never going to make anything as good as what I'm reviewing, because he's a big famous British...
That's the scary thing about being like, look at someone like Stutman, who's like critic turned wannabe filmmaker, and he's making his first... He's done a few films, but he's doing his first like big production. It's like... Unfortunately, you've had... by the way, I'm not in this criteria, but it's like, there are people who are going to be like, you've critiqued films for years on YouTube. Yeah. Now you better make something that's good.
Something good, yeah.
Because you just made fun of everybody for... I know he stopped doing that, by the way, which is a smart move on his part, because he only reviews films now that he feels he likes. He really likes.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because, to be fair, understandable, he'd probably be like, everyone's first big film, it will probably have a few things here and there that everyone's going to be like, that didn't really work, or...
I gotta say, for Mark Kermode being, like the biggest British...
Mark Kenobi?
One of the biggest British radio hosts.
Hello there.
And the biggest, like, film critic in the UK. Like, he must have it rough, because he meets and interviews big Hollywood stars all the time, and then next week reviews the movie that he was promoting with them the week before, and, like, often talks a bit of... Doesn't talk shit, he politely... he's a critic. He'll be polite about it. But, that must be a tough situation to meet people... as well, that he's previously given out bad reviews for movies for.
It happens.
Yeah.
I know this music YouTuber I watch called Anthony Fantano, the Needle Drop. He I know Logic, for example. I'm not a fan of Logic, by the way. I don't listen to his music, but he's been quite vocal about not loving a lot of Logic's albums, but Logic constantly every year will do an interview with him, and they'll sit down and chat. And I know he reviewed Oliver Tree, who I see next week in Perth, which is going to be awesome. He has never been very kind about Oliver Tree's music yet. He always comes on for an interview.
Yeah, cool.
But this guy's kind of just got balls of steel. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He puts out his opinion. A lot of people disagree. I don't think he's I don't think this guy's ever liked an album that I've liked.
Interesting. Not a Macklemore fan then.
He hates Macklemore. That's a good example. He hates Macklemore, and I really love him, and he's releasing an album soon, which is interesting.
That's cool. I really don't see much from him these days. So it'll be cool to.
Yeah, he's just
cool to see
gone
a new
off
album.
the side of the earth. But yeah, he released a post today saying like new music coming really soon. But
With
he's been
Ryan
saying
Lewis?
that for like 10 years. I don't know. I think
Because I know they did like a reunion skit thing. I saw.
they did a reunion
months
skit.
ago.
That was really fun.
I thought that was going to be like an announcement.
I would love to say it is, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I actually don't think it is. But
Well,
that 10-year highs final though, I'm gonna cop that like fucking
I'll get that shit.
hotcakes. Mm-hmm. That's gonna be sick.
Ella Road, I think she reminds me a lot of I don't know, just the way she talks about stuff reminds me a lot about the way I look at things, and I'm curious to see some more stuff that she's written, and that's
Well, Redacted is fucking sick.
yes.
She works on Redacted, doesn't she? Ella
No,
Road.
that's different. Ella Road is the co-writer of Legends of the Sea Devils. Ella Watts
That's
is
it.
Redacted director, producer,
Can you cut that?
co-writer.
No, you keep it in. Jesus, that's me getting my names wrong.
Yes.
Sorry, I hear two Ellas and I'm like, bro.
How do I do this? Yeah.
Hey, we should hit up some like Doctor Who writers. Did they just hit her up and were like, we'd love to have you on?
I think so, yeah. Sometimes I tweet at them. I see them quite often tweet at John Bishop. And they're like, John, ever want to come on for a chat?
I wonder if they do their PR team do research.
Probably. Yeah, they probably listen and they hear us.
God,
talk
these
shit.
Aussie blokes hated your episode.
They hate it.
To be fair, you were very
I was.
respectful for.
Respect.
I had fucking steam come out my nose.
Fuck this shit.
I didn't say that.
Yeah.
But
All
I was
right,
pretty respectful.
Last Christmas, I gave you my
My
heart.
heart.
What are you going to rate it out of 10?
I can't believe I'm saying this. Mm-hmm. Is there no behind the scenes, by the way?
No, we're going straight to the stats.
Damn, Aiden can't be fucked with behind the scenes.
Dude, I've been I
been
literally
home for 2
drove
hours.
for like 3.5 hours
I've been home for 2
today
hours.
to get home for this
Alright,
shit.
I'm just pulling your plonker. don't
Yeah, pull it harder, see what happens.
worry. It goes off. All right. Have you written the thing for?
I'm not. What are you talking about?
I'm looking at Aiden's Excel docket
As
right
I
now, and
make a Series 9 document as we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck it. Yeah. No, you
Alright.
tell me your score and I'll put it in later.
I think this has been maybe a tad bit kind, but I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it an 8.
Yeah.
Probably a bit kind, but because honestly, like it didn't even stick in my memory for fucking years. Maybe it was because I
Considering
just
you need to forget them, you need to forget the creatures. That's the point. You need to try and forget
like
them.
the silence. I see.
No,
definitely
the
tell us-
clams. You got to try not to think.
I
of
know.
them.
I'm saying you can tell it's the same writer. The clams, aren't they crabs?
Clams. I said clams.
Clams, crabs.
Oh my god. 8.
Not a fan of oysters.
Yeah.
8, awesome.
You're gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna give it.
I thought that's what you were saying.
No, I'm gonna look at my scores
Oh
and
my
compare it and see what I think.
Don't look at your scores from season 8. They're fucking
My season 8 ones.
yeah.
No,
seen,
season 7 is where I'm horrific and go
I've
all over the
literally
place.
seen fucking shits come out my arse about structure than Aiden's ratings for season 8.
Wait till you see my movies.
Oh dear. Go
I'm
see him, folks.
gonna give it an 8.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just to copy you for a sec there.
How dare you?
Yeah, I just mostly enjoyed
I
it.
think it was really fucking good. I think Moffat is on fire at the moment. His ass is on fire, and
Dude, yeah, he's spicy. I'm keen to see him carry that shit over into Series 9.
it's a shame the opening isn't great, but everything
Yeah.
else is pretty lit.
Well, I don't remember, to be honest.
Oh, by the way,
maybe we'll enjoy the opening, maybe not.
I spoke to Mike yesterday, Mike Honor from
Oh, yeah?
South Wales.
South Wales.
I'm trying to get him on to come on for the Zygon 2-parter.
I told Vinny she could come on for that one.
Oh, shit. This is what happens when we don't talk.
Yeah, I know. We need to communicate this shit.
Alright,
better.
what the hell?
Ah,
I didn't tell
we'll
you, you
figure
didn't
it
tell
out.
me. Alright. No,
figure
he's
it out.
flexible. Oh, shit. Do you know what's funny? I literally suggested that one. I was like, I spoke to him a few weeks ago and I was like, I want you to come on for season 8. Love to have you on. 9, sorry. I was like, why don't you do the Zygon 2-parter? And it's hard with like, because there's so many 2-parters.
Yeah.
So it's not even like you can't even have them on for like one of the Zygon ones. You're gonna both.
I
And
love Mike's Welsh voice.
He's a lovely guy. He's so
Cannot wait
sweet.
to hear that on the
They haven't had
podcast.
Vinny on since fucking
I know.
closing time.
I know. I nearly got her on for the finale, but We were recording a few hours late. I was going to surprise you with Vinny.
What, for Deaf and Evan?
Yeah, but she had to...
My sick ass.
She was at work, and it was like a few hours difference.
Whenever we film on Zoom, or like, I know you're going to throw something on me.
Like the crickets?
No, like, you threw Dylan on Tangle Mercy.
Yeah, out of nowhere, yeah. That was fun.
I remember when we filmed the Curse of the Black Spot review, and Dylan was so happy, and we were like, COVID was like literally like, it's the first time it hit our city.
Yeah, okay.
And we were like,
Miserable.
we had like the worst connection ever. And I remember like, we had to pause the episode, and you're like, Conor, by the way, you know, COVID's like at your local pub. And I was like, oh God. I was there on Friday.
Yeah, and I was there when it happened.
To be
That
fair,
was when I had to isolate from it.
it was like a year. By the way, that was a year ago, and like it was like a year, literally a year to the day later.
Wow.
I got it, so I didn't get it for a year after that.
I'm still COVID-free, baby. Just
Yeah,
a
you-
supreme human being.
We need to save Aidan's blood
That's
and use
it.
it as a cure. He's Ellie. He's Ellie from
I am. Last of Us.
Last of Us.
All right, next week.
Yeah, what are we doing next week?
I don't really know yet. It could be.
Wait, what?
It could be a cool interview that we're in the process of scheduling.
Are we saying that now?
We're not going to say what it is, but we're trying to sort something out.
Every time I even try to mention Aidan's like, don't you dare.
Every time Conor mentions it, I cut it in post.
Well, no, I haven't said it in
We should hopefully be maybe having a cool interview next week, but it might not come. It just depends on scheduling. We might not be able to get that next week. So if not, maybe we'll be talking about Torchwood Series 2.
Oh, fuck, I haven't started that yet.
I know, I've only watched a few episodes.
Wait.
We got a few special episodes coming up over the next few weeks. Gonna watch the Dalek movies.
Can I just say this? We've got a fucking crazy month. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be the best.
We have
Yeah.
potential guests coming on,
Multiple
and it will
potential
blow
guests,
your
actually.
socks off. Like
Yeah.
your socks will be flying off to the moon.
Yeah, I can't wait to see them socks get blown.
You'll be like, what? But
Whoa, oh my God.
Aidan and I are
You thought one guest was big enough? Here's a second.
Yeah, we're like, we don't want to say because then watch it not happen. And
Watch
we
us
go,
have no guests.
It's like, you know, that guy, he's like 100 subscriber special, and then when he made the video,
like 99.
like 4 people unsubbed. That's what we can't do. We
No.
can't say. But anyway, the interview and the guest coming on for a review are fucking top notch people, and it'll be very cool. Mm-hmm. But we don't want to say it because
Don't want to jinx it.
we don't want to jinx it.
Yes.
That's the rule.
Guys, thank
People
you so
are
much
begging
for
to come
listening.
on.
Oh, dude, they're banging on the door.
We haven't asked them. They asked us. Actually,
That's-
someone did ask me.
Did you tell them no? We're elitist?
Uh,
No, I said yes.
that's what I should have said. No, sorry.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody, everyone in between, thank you so much for listening to us talk shit. Sometimes about Doctor Who, sometimes not about Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Peace and love. Let's sing our lovely song. And who knows what we'll be talking about next week.
Yeah, you might want to guess.
3, 1, 2,
3, a 1, a 2. Okay.
10, 9,
An 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a
2,
4.
1.
Wow.
It's Aidan.
Great, Aidan.
And Connor's podcast. We're doing Doctor Who reviews with some cool guests too.
Hopefully, unless they cancel on us.
When people, if we ever get like, a big like writer or director from the show on or something, and like their agents
Chris
or whatever,
Triple.
they're like, okay, I'm going to listen to a few episodes, make sure this is like a good thing to go on. And they listen to the episode like, yeah, they're a bit silly, but you can go on.
Hey,
That's
sex
fine.
sells.
And then they get to the last minute and it starts going, it's Aidan, and they're like, nope,
Also, the intro.
Don't ever do that
is
shit.
ridiculous.
fiddy, but that's 5 seconds. We can get away with that.
Are you sure? That's when the execs go, cut this.
Cut this.
I ain't touching it.
I don't want them on that. Maybe. Thanks, folks, and we'll see you for something next week.
Yeah, whatever that.
Whatever the hell you're
We
getting.
don't know.
Who knows?
We don't know.
knows?
Aidan doesn't like to say if it's going to happen.